Hello, everyone, and welcome back to an as-of-yet unnamed podcast. Oh, wait, you're dumb. It has a name now. Welcome back to Straw Hat Crusaders. And on this episode, Nami bonks a guy.
On this episode, balls?
On this episode, Dio gave JoJo head?
Luffy died?
That was a lot. That was a lot from you, Josh.
All right, cut to the music.
Welcome back to, as we said earlier, Straw Hat Crusaders. Our JoJo and fucking One Piece. I forgot the name of the series.
Motherfucking One Piece.
The One Piece read-along podcast. 3 of us are reading One Piece. 1 of us was watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
4 of us are reading
4
One
of
Piece.
us are reading One Piece. I'm
not letting it get away from me.
Hayden Hartrick.
I'm Adriana.
I'm Clayton.
And I'm Josh.
And that's all 4 of us,
Yeah.
and we've been watching some stuff. Today we've got a pretty cool episode. Clayton has officially finished part 1.
Yes.
of
Yeah.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure,
And
True.
we finished One Piece.
we finished
Yeah.
all of One Piece.
Yeah.
We had
And that's
100%
where it ends,
caught
right?
up.
After Volume 3?
Uh-huh.
After Orange Town, we just go right home.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Guys, how y'all doing?
Good.
Everybody awesome?
Tired. I've been sleeping a lot.
Then why are you so tired?
I don't know.
Oh,
What's going on
idiot.
again?
I think I'm
Gotcha.
collapsing. I think my
Caught
body's
red-handed.
giving out from under me.
First, you stranglehold us into doing this crazy cold open.
and
now you're tired?
Just for the record, that was Josh's
Cut
cold
that.
open.
Cut-
He
Please cut that.
put a
from
gun
there.
on the table
I'm
and said, "You have to
cut
do
you.
this."
Make sure that we think it's Hartrick.
We
at
should
the end
play
of this
Russian
part.
roulette on every month.
I think so. Not on the podcast, right? We should just play Russian roulette.
No, like before the podcast.
Okay.
So,
We have a new
yeah.
podcast coming out. It's
If
called
there's no new entry next
Adriana
week.
Roulette.
Yeah.
My big toxic flaw is I think I'd be really good
Oh
at
my-
Russian roulette.
And here's the thing, Clayton. I think you would. I
Yeah.
believe you. I 100% believe you'd never lose a game.
100%.
How do you win? You just don't die?
You
You
don't
don't
die.
die.
I thought it was like you don't flinch.
Girl.
You're thinking of slappies.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, if you die,
Yeah.
you die, but like 5 out of 6 times you're not gonna
Well,
die.
if you flinch.
So like, if you don't die, what do you just? If you don't die, what's the challenge?
Imagine that the goal is not to flinch, like that you win if you don't flinch, and consequently you might die.
Yeah, that's like,
Yeah.
it's like
you go until there's one one person still alive. Like you play with a group of 7 and you go till 6 people have died.
the goal.
right?
Okay, for instance, the goal of Monopoly is not to avoid jail, but sometimes you just end up going to jail. That's what is the Russian roulette not like that?
I don't think at any point. First of all, I don't know if there's like rules. I don't know if there's a rule book.
Then
for,
why
like,
are you
points.
telling me that
I'm pretty sure
wrong?
you can't buy a railroad playing Russian roulette. So
Well, they are
I
different
wouldn't
games.
equate it to some random ass board game.
But you are allowed to buy
Like-
extra bullets to put in the gun.
Yeah, that's true.
For the next person.
Also, what in this Russian roulette scenario? What happens if you do flinch? Are you out or like?
You just lose
Yeah,
the
you're like-
respect of
you-
your.
And then you don't have to get shot in the
Yeah,
head.
you're clowned. You're clowned on, or maybe
Okay.
they add more bullets next time it gets to you.
Okay,
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I made it all up.
sure.
Anyway, you're tired, huh?
yeah.
You tired?
Yeah. How's everybody else doing?
I'm doing pretty good, honestly. I've had a pretty good day. I worked from home.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. I'm kind of tired too. I've packed today. I'm moving this weekend. I won't tell you where.
Ooh.
I'll tell you. The description to this episode will be Adriana's new address.
Me getting doxxed. That's our theme
Yeah,
today.
Clayton and I also finished moving.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, we live together.
That
It's
sucked.
kind of awesome.
Yeah. We're
Wait.
in our house right now.
Oh yeah, how was cleaning the apartment out? Did they give you any shit?
There was a very funny moment. We were there
Oh God.
for like 7 hours.
Yeah, me and Sir Maxim, a wonderful friend of the podcast. We got there at like 12:30 and we left at like 11:30.
Oh.
Just spent all day moving and cleaning.
God
but
damn.
at the very end.
But then at the very end, it was like a thing. We were all sweaty. There was like so much stuff that had been carried out into a car. And we're finally, I think what's happening is we're standing outside. Everything has been moved out of the apartment. And Hayden's like, okay, I'm going to go do a pass through in there. And Max and I are standing outside getting stuff together. And to me, I had thought that there was not a single thing in that apartment. And Hayden goes inside. He's like, I'm going to do a pass through. And he's in for probably 10 seconds. And we just hear of like shattering glass. Like so soon after he goes inside, and I walk inside, and there's a shattered wine glass on the floor.
You found the one thing by breaking it?
Well, because here's the thing. It was right before that had happened. Max and I were doing an exit check, and my back had like given out, and I was squatting down on the floor like checking cabinets, and I look over at our dishwasher, and I realized all of today nobody has opened the dishwasher to check, and so I open it to a full like 3/4 load of dishes that's still in there.
Oh.
We're able to pack it up, and as we're leaving is when the glass falls out and shatters on the floor. And it is literally like Clayton and Max, as I was finishing packing up, had taken the last of the things to my car.
Including like broom and dustpan.
It was buried in my car, the broom and dustpan.
Oh my fucking God.
I did that thing. You ever like laugh really hard, but like you can feel that you're on the verge
dying
of
inside,
tears.
yeah.
You're like this
Yeah.
can very easily become a breakdown.
Yes.
It's awesome.
And we could tell.
Yeah.
So what'd you do? Did you just kind of like sweep it under the...
I threw it at our landlord. I put it in a bag and I hit our landlord in the face with it.
Mm-hmm.
Things I
That's
wish
on
had
record.
happened. Podcast.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, have y'all seen the Barbenheimer duo yet?
Saw
Either
Barbie.
of
We
them?
saw Barbie. Me and
Barbie.
Adriana.
Nice.
Want so badly to see Oppenheimer immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen none of it.
Oh yeah, Ellis and I yesterday did the full Barbenheimer experience in a day.
How was it?
Very tiring,
Yeah.
but both movies are extremely good.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that awesome that there was so much hype for both and that
Yeah.
everyone's loving them and that they're
They're not really competing. It's like
and they're not
good,
no they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're building each other up. And it was crazy is I didn't realize. See, when I hear that Christopher Nolan is doing a movie, I'm like, okay, that's a Warner Brothers movie because historically he always works with Warner Brothers. I forgot that they had a falling out because of Tenet, and that fucking Warner Brothers put Barbie on Oppenheimer's release date as a slight, like as a petty bullshit fucking
Really?
slight against Nolan, and then it just ended up making them both money. So
yeah.
Drama. Anyway,
Barbie was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. With that, is anything else we want to talk? Do we want to get into the stuff, the sauce?
I would love it. I would love some
Sauce.
sauce, man.
Let's sauce it up.
into the sauce.
Yeah.
So,
is-
severed talking heads. Am I right, you guys?
So true.
Crazy. It's an epidemic. Get a job in a sideshow. Anyway.
What? Oh yeah, I thought I knew what you were talking about. I don't.
No, I'm on board. I agree.
No, it's fine.
Dio's fucking lazy. He's just sitting around with his head while this guy carries around. But JoJo's, because I assume we're starting with JoJo's again.
Yeah.
JoJo's challenged me this week.
I knew it would. I knew it would.
I knew that there was like a divot in the middle. I think still by the time we've gotten to the end here, the first 3 episodes were probably still my favorites.
Gotcha.
I think that not to be a little complainer, a little whiner, but I don't think I enjoy Hammond very much. I when you're gonna implement like a power system by which like everything is kind of answering to, I think rules are nice. And the way they use Hammond is kind of like, well, you're breathing, obviously, so you can do anything.
It's for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's for the girls.
It's for the girls.
True.
It's not as the rules aren't as tight, or actually the premise of it is not as tight as I think I get what you mean.
Uh-huh.
But like, I take solace in the fact that for some reason some people can do it and some people can't. It's not like one of those things where it's like, well, I guess anyone could just think they could do it and then do it, because that always bothers me when that happens.
Did you know that acupuncture only works on 2/3 of people, and they don't know why, and you don't know
what?
There's no like actual reason it like either works on you or it doesn't.
It's crazy that it even
anyway,
works
it's like
at
that.
all.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's just needles.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it wouldn't work on me. In my
feeling
mind,
lucky.
the thing that makes it different is like it's all psychological. If you believe the needles are going to work,
Not the actual
Oh my God.
molecules of your body.
You're not one of those. You know?
Nah.
Oh God, we got one of those guys on the podcast.
So it's a placebo. You think acupuncture is a placebo?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
There's a whole.
I don't know. I've never tried it.
We're gonna have
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of acupuncture TikTok on us, like very soon. I would say before. Oh, sorry. Were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say in the topic of like Haman, I think one of the things that I really that like sucks for me about it, and that because I rewatched a few of these episodes with Clayton. A few of them did challenge me as well.
Yeah.
But like one of the things about Haman, especially when it's like they're fighting vampires, is it becomes like this thing where it's like, oh, all you got to do is punch the guy one time and you win the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it led to like more fights that just had slow pacing, because the only thing that could be done is just don't let this guy punch you.
Yeah.
Or like you just have to land one punch and you win. And I just
And once they do land that one punch, it's typically not super satisfying.
no, you're not like there's like barely any times where it's like, oh, they've been outsmarted, you know.
I feel like that's one of the reasons that like JoJo combat is kind of like closer to sword fighting than hand-to-hand combat, because like every thing that lands, every hit that lands is like way more fatal than just like a punch or whatever. So it's like a lot of like defense and dodging or whatever, because the way he set up the power systems is like a weapon where if it does land, it's gonna be hard to
You're
come back
done.
from that. Yeah.
And you're done. Yeah, I agree. But with the Haman, I'd say wait till you get through part 2 again. I'd say part 2, in most cases, like he has a little more time, Araki, to kind of like explore the power system, and it's less about the powers itself, because I don't love Haman, but how people use it. That is much more interesting, I think, in part 2. But stands is what you're waiting for. Like it's what you want to see. I completely understand.
I just think right now, because I remember how it is used better in part 2. I like the thing he does with the Coke bottle at the beginning. That's really cool, and that makes sense for like what they are saying that Haman is. But in this one, it's like you can kind of use it for anything. You can use it to like make somebody's head blow up, or to like make something be on fire, or to stay alive when you only have a head.
Oh
and
no!
then spit a rose at somebody.
Oh yeah. I was like, no, Dio is a vampire. You can't use him on. You're talking about Dyer, who uses his Thundercross split attack. That's a huge meme in the community, is the Thundercross split attack, because Dyer, it's said multiple times that no one has ever escaped the Thundercross split attack, and the 2 times you see it used, both a regular guy named JoJo and a vampire named Dio both completely whoop Dyer's ass.
Yeah.
So he's kind of an icon in these parts. Yeah. We love him.
Yeah, and then he immediately dies.
Yeah.
That's
His head
another thing
freezes and shatters.
with
Yeah.
this arc, is that we get introduced to so many characters who die immediately after being introduced.
Yep.
I
great.
enjoy Zappelli. I think that he probably could have taken the place of like Dyer and Straits and what's his face? What is
Tom
his-
Petty?
Tom Petty, yeah. Is it
That's
Tom
Tom.
Petty?
No, it's Tom Petty, but often enough you'll see, and with almost every musical reference that you see in the anime, even subtitled, it will spell it differently for copyright reasons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
It gets really confusing later when the stands start becoming named after songs, because they will just you won't even be able to guess what it's trying to say. It's something completely different than what you're actually hearing. Yeah, which is really, really irritating. But don't watch the dub because they just say the copyright safe thing.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
But I like Zappelli.
He's cool.
His introduction is fun. I like the frog.
I
Yes!
was gonna say, you were like, say what you want about Haman, but it's save that frog, and that's all. That's it in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do kind of think it would have been better if he had just like obliterated him. He's like, see what I can do, and then punch the shit out of this frog.
Like,
that would have been
think
pretty
about
good.
that frog telling its friends, no one would believe it.
I don't think the frog even really understands what
You're
happened.
right. You're right.
But also JoJo was really worried about the frog too, which I thought was sweet.
Yeah.
JoJo also. So I don't think y'all are gonna remember this. I'm gonna try to find it right now while I'm talking.
The outfit.
JoJo wears the worst outfit in the
I don't
world.
remember.
He's got like 2 commas on a vest. That's
wait.
how
Oh yeah,
I
Hayden
see
was
it.
there for
What?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a red vest that he's wearing.
I remember that.
There's like 2 yellow commas on his collar.
He has like many layers underneath.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, his
Many
dad
layers.
died, so he could dress how he wanted.
So true.
That's kind of how it was
That was like-
explained.
that
That's how it
was-
was explained to me.
That was him like figuring like leaving for college for the first time
Yeah.
and like dressing himself like and just being like, I'm just gonna buy whatever.
Okay,
And
I've got it here. This is what he's wearing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was cold, you know.
He's
Oh,
wearing,
he's wearing a hat?
a
Guys.
trapper keeper hat.
Oh my god. Okay.
He's wearing a pink sweater vest with it seems like 3 layers of shirts, 2 short sleeve shirts with one with slightly longer sleeves, and then like a tighter shirt that goes all the way down to his wrists, and then a scarlet red bow tie.
That outfit looks like a non-binary person on Tumblr in 2014. Like, I absolutely just gif that. And
Oh,
it's,
I
it's
forgot.
set.
He's also wearing red gloves with little yellow mustard knuckles. His hands look like hot dogs.
I think next time you're looking for a cosplay, I think you've figured out what
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
doing.
you should do that.
Totally.
I'm trying to fill out those 5 layers like he is one day.
Sure.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
As you can tell, JoJo is known for its fashion, as you probably heard. Both the bad and the good. It gets so much more slay as you go on, as you keep going. You're gonna hit a point where you're like, whoa. At least that happened to me. And I'm like, damn, these fits are insane.
They also like eventually stopped changing outfits mid-season.
Yes.
So
Right.
that they just focus on making one cool design.
Yeah, this is
Uh-huh.
part 3, baby.
like
Get
the
ready.
cartoon, you open the closet and it's like the same
Yes.
thing. The same shirt on a hanger.
And whenever they do change their outfit, it's like, oh fuck. This is a great outfit change. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, so that's important.
Well, 2 of the JoJos, if I'm remembering correctly, their outfit is just like the school outfit, right?
Yeah.
School uniform.
Yes.
Yeah, an altered school uniform.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
I had to
yes,
think
yes,
about
yes,
it for a
yes,
second.
yes,
too.
yes,
Jotaro and Josuke
Yeah.
have school
Yes.
uniforms. Giorno, it's believed
Jorno's could be a modified one.
it could be modified. In the manga, it's more believable for it to be modified, but because they kind of they put some pizzazz in his outfit in the anime in terms of its color palette, to where you're like, there's no way that's a school uniform. Yeah, there's a lot of conjecture. If we're talking about outfits, there's a lot of conjecture over the manga, like the Shueisha color scans versus how the anime like does their color palettes, that people argue a lot about. But I think the anime normally gets it right, because with all the main JoJos, if you look at the manga, so many of them are just blue. Like they just all have fucking blue outfits. It gets old. But then they changed it up. They made them more unique in the anime, in my opinion.
Hell yeah.
How'd you like Dio's outfit?
Yeah.
The outfit he ended in was pretty cool. I
Yes.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Those
Waist
pants.
trainer.
I
Yeah.
think I remember him having, of course, the classic like golden fit that he wears in part 3.
Iconic.
But yeah, that's awesome. Dio, an icon. He gets his head chopped off. He starts crawling around with his hair and his arteries and shit.
Yeah,
Also,
because the hair power is like, I mean, I guess it's kind of established before that, like, fucking Buford or whatever his name is can do it. But I thought that was like a special thing to him.
I assume so as well, because it's like he had like a curse, and it was like even his hair was grasping out at the guards.
What's cool is that you'll if you remember anything from like early part 3.
Sure.
It actually he does end up having like control over like maneuverable control over his hair. Like you see in a few scenes where it's actually like consistent. It's like it's not a power he forgets about. There are other vampiric abilities that you'll never see again.
Do
when Dio
I
comes back.
be honest with me? I'm gonna be really sad. Do we see super eyeball laser?
Nope.
God,
Never
damn it.
again.
He has eyeball laser.
You know what? No, right now I'm deciding that I have a headcanon that that's how he lights all his candles. It's just all off
Oh
screen.
my God.
It's all off
Okay.
screen.
Oh my god! No, but like there's a scene in part 3 where, I mean, it's not
Spoilers.
Really, no, because you
spoilers.
have technically
spoilers.
seen it, but it's a small scene. It's not really a spoiler. Where he is actually no, I can't get into it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know
Just-
Dio's stand ability at all.
No. Let's just
Please
not
tell me you
discuss
don't.
It's
that
something to
yet.
do with a steamroller.
Right. Yeah.
yes,
You know what?
You're
Just-
so right.
You're so right. Just
actually.
keep that in
Yes.
mind. I'm so happy you said that.
Yeah. It's actually an Austin Powers reference. It's really
But we'll put a pin in that laser eye conversation.
Sure.
You are a genius for thinking that, Adriana. I that actually was something that bothered me because of one scene in part 3, and you solved it.
You're welcome.
I love you.
I love you. Good night.
I love you. Good night. Actually, I wanted to talk about the two knights a little bit.
Yeah.
The two knights,
man.
Tarkus and Bruford.
Yeah. What about him?
Well,
Distress noises from Hayden.
which one of the two is your favorite?
Okay, I gotta say, I don't care.
Literally.
What?
That is the like one of the only episodes I was able to catch with Clayton was like the Buford and Tarkus
Dude.
introduction episode, and like we were sitting on the couch watching it when the backstory started. And we just like looked at each other. It was just like,
You just
God.
maintained eye contact for the whole time it was playing.
It was like immediate. It was like, now these two guys are here, and it's because it's so short and
Yeah.
it's so like should be about Dio that every time it has been like, I'm Jack the Ripper and I'm inside a horse
Oh
or whatever.
my god!
I am immediately like, okay, well, can we just get to something that fucking matters?
Yes, I agree.
And so as soon as they were like, these two guys are here, I was like, okay, they're going to be mini bosses. Maybe Zappelli and Speedwagon can fight them. And then it was like, long ago, Queen Victoria. And I was like, God.
There was a whole thing though, like they shortened it. There's a whole thing that we haven't even got to in the manga where there's this whole like 77 rings battle or something. They established this huge lore that is like this tournament arc that the knights of this Victorian era like were a part of that somehow plays into the story. And honestly, like I'm glad that they just cut that shit out.
yeah, if they put a flashback tournament arc in the middle of that part 1 anime,
it's not like it's tournament arc per se, but it's like
lore.
It's
just
lore
I
of a
think-
tournament arc.
I think we would have lost Clayton. I think he would have been out.
No, Clayton doesn't have a choice.
That's true.
He doesn't have a choice.
I'm strapped in, baby. Truly, if y'all keep reading One Piece, it could be like live streams of grass growing. I'll sit through it.
I actually just did want to ask you about Bruford though. What you thought of like his last moments, like his repentance at the end.
It was. I don't know. I'm trying not to be like
No, please.
too much of a Debbie Downer.
Be truly honest.
Kind of felt like it came a little bit out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I was just having a hard time taking Bruford in general, like taking him seriously, like in general. And I don't know.
If we talk about Bruford for like one more minute, I don't know what I'm gonna.
I just have a weird.
I can't do it.
I have a
anymore.
weird soft spot for him because I forgot about him the first time I watched it, and then I saw it, and I really do like that one moment. I like his character design, and I like that one moment a lot for JoJo mainly. Than I do for him. But I always wonder, are people gonna feel what I felt the
No.
second time I watched
No.
it? And they never do.
No. You
give
are
a shit
really
about.
in danger of getting labeled as the Bruford stan of the. Is that really what you want to
Nah,
be
he's like
associated with?
He's not even in. He's like D tier.
He comes back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we didn't want to say it.
Uh-huh.
You know, we didn't want to say it. But
That's what all of part 4 through 9 are about.
yeah, it's called JoJo Return of Bruford.
I will say, if I did have to pick a favorite between the two, it would probably be Bruford.
Yeah, I fucking hate Tarkus. I hate looking at him.
I hate his
So
name.
with the Bruford Tarkus, I don't know if you had the same experience that I did, but like Zeppeli's death episode, we're all like 100%. The Zeppeli's death episode, the minute that episode starts, you know that he's gonna die at the end of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, because
Yeah.
it's like it shows his big boss, and he's like, "One day you are going to fucking die."
Yeah, that was Tom. That was Tom Petty.
Yeah.
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 It went, yeah, and man, was he right. I was so disappointed the first time I watched because I thought Zappelli was the spice that the heroes needed. He was like, I was like, oh, he's interesting. He's kind of funny.
Yeah.
He goes, "Hey, baby," at one point, when talking to
true.
Dio, and he's got style. And then 3 episodes later, he's just fucking eating.
But he lives on. That's the thing. All the fans fucking love it. He was not forgotten at all.
Yeah.
It was,
Uh-huh.
Everybody
he
loves
is
him.
also the least interesting Zappelli.
Yeah.
By far. So what does that
There's
say?
other Zappellis?
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. But great legacy started with him. A great legacy that will continue without him.
Hell yeah.
So what'd you think overall? Ending? What'd you think of these last 2 episodes?
Overall, I think so. The big last fight, I did not really care for.
Uh-huh.
The last episode itself, I liked a lot more. I wish we got a lot more of JoJo being a person and not a big muscly punchy guy.
Me too, man. Me too.
Because the scenes of him and Erina on the boat,
That was genuinely sweet.
Very
was
sweet.
great.
Yeah.
Yep.
and it made me kind of for the first time be like, oh man, I hope nothing bad happens to this guy, even though I know he's about to die.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think the relationships really are sweet in a non cliche. I mean, it is cliche, but it's like, I don't know, like just the dialogue. It's like they thought about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels
was
heartfelt.
Nice. It felt like,
Yeah.
you know, the guy who wrote it knows what being in love is like.
Absolutely.
nice.
Absolutely.
And they do like the little fully forgot about the moment where like JoJo walks into the door frame, and it's just like a nice cute little moment like that. And I was like, I wish there were more.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because Irina kind of just becomes she just is absent for most of the series,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
For most of part 1, for
Yes.
sure.
Well, there's much silliness to come.
There is much silliness to come.
Oh, yes.
So was that baby at the end on the boat?
Mm-hmm.
Was that Joseph?
No,
No.
so
Okay.
that boat thing happened the day after they got married.
Yes.
That was on their honeymoon. So
Who
and they're
knows?
good Christian people.
Uh-huh.
They're
So they
British.
waited.
They waited.
Yeah, but man, they only needed one. They only needed one night because
Yeah.
she says at the end that she's pregnant. But she doesn't say
Did
it
she?
yeah, she's like, there's a new life inside of me, has awakened inside of me.
Oh.
And
Is that her pregnancy?
Yeah,
announcement?
and then-
I did not
and
interpret
then
that.
it's
as
also
a,
the first translation I saw. There's Crunchyroll has a slightly different translation and it's more clear. But she's like, a new life is awakened inside of me, and he will know of his father's sacrifice, or he will know of Jonathan's sacrifice,
That's
a
and
great
also, yeah,
Instagram pregnancy announcement, I think.
so true. And then also she has this little baby who clearly you don't remember a lot from part 2, which is great because it's gonna go into what all that means.
That baby's parents were those
Yeah.
random people that got killed.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
those
also
were its real parents.
It wouldn't technically work out because part 2's 50 years later. So if that was Joseph would have been an old man.
Wait, Joseph though is 50 then?
No.
Well, later. Well, no, okay.
You'll see.
You'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
You'll
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Part
You'll
2
see.
is 50 years later.
Part 2's
Yeah.
50 years later.
You'll
And
see.
she's pregnant right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll figure
Yes.
it out. You'll figure it
With
out.
a baby.
With a baby.
Okay.
I think we could just tell him. That's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
No.
It's fine. Yeah.
It
we'll
is.
get
It is a
there.
reveal. It is
Yeah.
a reveal.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
right, actually. But yeah, we're so excited
Funny
because
because I've seen that.
yeah, you. I'm less surprised
Yeah.
that you've seen part. Do you remember that Jonathan dies? Did you remember that, like, going into this?
I thought you said Joseph, and I was like, no, I didn't. And then I was like, wait, no, he's in later. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, okay. I remember being shocked. Like, they killed the main character.
I think
Like,
I've just been spoiled on so much stuff. I think I knew that even the first time I watched it, that Jonathan died. I didn't know a whole lot my first watch through, but I knew that.
yeah. Knowing that they made such a bold choice with the first season actually made part 1 better for me, personally. I don't know if y'all felt that way.
I don't really care about part 1.
Yeah.
And rewatching all of it, I was just like, this is just, it's just kind of boring.
Yeah. But you need it.
Yeah, you do.
You do need it.
Yeah.
True. You got to eat your
It's-
vegetables before you can eat
Yeah,
the rest.
it's more supplemental than meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. JoJo's a comeback story,
Yeah.
you know?
And I'm excited. It only goes up from here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, nothing is.
yeah.
Everything's better than part 1
Cool.
by far. I'm so excited to talk about part 2 coming up, but we'll get to that later. Unless if there's anything else that we want to talk about JoJo wise.
Well, there's one more thing to talk about JoJo wise.
Oh, yeah.
We made a little before we move on to One Piece.
Right.
We made a reference to it last time. We don't want to. We talked about like our favorite intros and stuff because we got the variant intro at the end of this first season with the part 1 with sound effects.
Yes.
But I think we're gonna wait until Clayton has seen all the intros to give full breakdown, full rankings, and everything. But we want it as the JoJo. What is our name? What is the name for our little trio? Like the people who have seen JoJo.
The Jogers, the Josies.
The Joe Bros?
The Joe Bros. Yeah. It's the Joe Bros. What our personal favorite intros
we're the
are.
Crusaders and he's the Straw Hat.
And he's the Straw Hat, and we're the Crusaders.
Yeah. like Critical Darlings. You got the critics and the darlings. We're the Straw Hat Crusaders. You have them.
Reference.
Anyway, I interrupted
What
you.
is
Yeah.
that?
What is, I've never heard of that.
It's a famous podcast. You might have
Yeah,
heard of it.
it's got 1 billion views. So let's go through just the 3 of us real quick and just say our favorite intros.
Can I do mine too?
Yes.
Yeah,
Clayton,
we'll keep
start with
track
you.
of
We'll start
yours,
with you.
like if the order changes, then
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite intro right
So
now?
far, I'm gonna rank them all,
Okay.
and it's Fend of Blood. It's fun. I like it.
Yeah.
yeah, great.
Do you remember the other intros at all?
Not really.
Cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
Josh?
I'm going to say my top 3. Is that
Sure.
Is that okay?
I don't care.
Okay. I have them all 11 listed in order, but I'm going to say my top 3 right now. Okay. Number 3 is called Trader's Requiem. It is the final opening of part 5. In number 2, this was hard, but the first opening of Stone Ocean of part 6. It's just called Stone Ocean. We have a storied history with that one. Algernon has a big history with that one. And then my number 1, and it's okay if you don't feel this way, Clayton, but it's the next one you're about to see.
Whoa.
Bloody Stream. It's the part 2's opening. Yeah, this was. I think I said it before. This was the first opening of JoJo I'd ever seen, and I was like, "That's the best opening I've ever seen." And I listened to it on repeat for like on and off for like a year and a half before I ever started the show.
How does that one go?
What if you just open your mouth and it's like a full like brass orchestra?
Yeah,
The animation is playing in the middle of his mouth.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it goes like
Please.
I was gonna try to sing the
Please,
pirate rap. I was
I'm
gonna try, but I don't know any of it.
I can sing the whole pirate right now,
Someday.
word for word.
That'll be our theme song. That'll be our
Yeah.
podcast theme song. Is you singing it?
Yeah. Mine, my favorite, because before this episode, I went through and I rewatched a lot of them just to refresh my brain. My favorite is is Fighting Gold, which is the first intro of part
Yeah.
5. It is so good, but it is like it's really narrowly like right behind it on its heels is Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town.
Love that. That's
Is
the first part 4 opening.
Yeah, first part 4 opening.
It's amazing.
It's one of my favorites just because it is such a different style from any of the rest of the intros.
Yes. You haven't seen the part 6 opening.
I actually watched the part 6 opening for the first time today.
The first part 6 opening.
First part 6
You
opening.
didn't watch the second one, did you?
No.
Okay, good.
It's pretty good.
I also can't pick one, so I'm going to do my top 3
Okay.
as well. Also, it just changes. I'm not one of those people who can have like a consistent like ranking order of anything. It's very inconsistent. So anyway, mine's almost the same as yours, Josh.
Oh.
Where I do really Trader's Requiem. It's very good. And wait, what was the other one you said? Oh, actually, no, it's not actually all. Okay.
Just say yours.
Trader's Requiem. I think Bloody Stream also, but then I almost want to say Stone Ocean as well, but I think Stand Proud is in the top 3.
Wow,
Yeah.
really?
That is probably my
Yes.
number 3. That's the.
It's maybe number 2.
It's part 3's
for-
first
yeah.
opening. Yeah, it's iconic.
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
really good.
that one grew on me a lot over the
Yes.
years.
Yeah.
It's funny you said Fighting Gold. That is technically my least favorite one.
That is.
I really like
incorrect
Fighting
but I
opinion.
love Fighting
That's
Gold.
an
Yeah.
It's
incorrect
just
opinion.
I have
It's-
reasons, but it's
yeah.
so good. Like I do love it. I love them all.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would like Trader's Requiem that much, but like once
It
it
grows
got
on
to
you.
Oh
once it grew on me, I was like, oh my
It's
god.
the best. It's incredible.
Yeah, anyway.
All right.
Yeah. Forget everything we said, Clayton.
No, while y'all were doing that, I had an idea for the intro. I'm going to pitch it on the podcast. What the intro would be.
I'm going to shut it down on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah,
We're gonna have
Feel-
to. We're gonna have to
feel free.
delete the next minute of podcast.
Y'all very. It's very possible y'all are going to be like, no, that's awful. But it's also possible that people are going to have heard this 3 times before each of our episodes. We take somebody, an Alex Pittner type, one of our friends who can kind of rap a little bit.
All right.
Spin your rap.
He can.
Oh,
he can,
that's awesome.
he can freestyle.
It
He
is
can-
insane. If you got it next time you see him, you
It's kinda
gotta
crazy.
ask him to do it.
It is to a ridiculous degree.
Ask him like literally the first thing you say to him when you see him again is ask him.
I'm just
to do
gonna
I think
start
I have a
beatboxing.
video somewhere on my phone that I can show you.
That's awesome. Okay.
And so we take the pirate rap and we JoJo-fy it. We make it the JoJo rap.
I have no
Whoa.
idea what that would sound like.
it. So you-
The brainworms you have to have for this to work are impressive.
I'm going.
I will say, everybody who is a One Piece fan knows the pirate rap by heart. It's not like a niche thing where it's like some One Piece fans are like, have you heard the fork? Like every One Piece fan knows the pirate rap.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm. It sounds awesome. Yes.
We can talk about it.
Yeah,
I-
can we add in like if we do it, can we add in like Beastie Boys moments so that at the end of every line there's the 4 of us that say the last word of each line with it.
we cannot do this. Like,
Why? Are you worried about?
Do you don't think we're capable?
Are you worried about your what's it called, digital footprint?
Yeah.
Think you won't get hired?
I can't run for president. No, Clayton looks so
Clayton's
sad right now. It's
crying.
making me
Clayton's
cry.
crying.
I did puppy dog eyes.
No, that's a good idea. I just don't know if like.
Oh, you mean like like the same thing? Like we record someone doing it and then just play that at the beginning of every episode.
As like the intro song.
Not a line performance. Oh, live,
Not
performance.
live.
Okay.
No, live
Okay.
performance. No, it's
Okay.
now a live performance.
I'll be honest. Even if it's great, which I think it could be great, I don't know if I would want to hear that every time I
I think
played.
we should have fun, Josh.
Okay. You know what?
Adriana pulled a big knife out of their
Yeah, I
pocket when
did.
saying that.
We'll workshop it.
I think that's totally fair. I think maybe we should still make this thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that should totally
Yes.
happen.
And if anybody could do it, it's Alex Pittner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with
love
that,
man. It's time to talk about One Piece.
Clayton just got so smug. Clayton just did the smug emoji.
No, not smug. I'm just excited.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I love you guys and I love One Piece. And I want to hear you talk about One Piece. And I'm going to sit in my little cuck chair and see y'all's experiences with One Piece.
Chair and watch. And just watch.
Yeah. I again, talking severed heads.
Dude.
Crazy.
Oh my God. We had double talking
You're
severed
so
That's
heads.
what I meant the first time I said it.
You're just so far ahead of us in terms of brain power. That's why I can't. That's why I don't know what you're talking about half the time.
Oh my God. It was pretty neat. I can't stop thinking about the one joke that me and Josh sent in the group chat. I don't know. Did you? we sent it with invisible ink, but Hayden, did you eventually?
Oh, I have not
uncover?
gone back and de-invisible inked it. I forgot that happened.
So
Josh,
funny.
explain it.
So like after it's revealed what Buggy's devil fruit ability is, that okay, Hayden had to leave real quick, but he's coming back. After he revealed what his chop ability, and he calls himself, I'm a chop man. Luffy is like, a chop man, that's fucking stupid. And then there's a box.
Chop man, what a freak.
There's a box next to him that points and says Gum man.
Yeah.
Very funny.
We lost our minds.
So the arc we read was with Buggy the clown guy.
Look at the clown.
Yes. And we decided that he has a New York accent. That's what me and Josh decided.
Yeah, that makes sense.
New York
That
versus
checks out.
New Jersey.
Right.
Luffy's New Jersey.
That's right.
He's New Jersey.
Luffy is a New Jersey guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did y'all think of the Bugster?
I liked it a lot.
Buggy D. Clown.
I liked him as a villain.
Did he die? No. He just got incapacitated, right?
He's tall.
He got his insides. He got cut up into a bunch of pieces, so he was floating everywhere. And then Nami tied everything but his feet and hands and head and put that in a treasure chest. And I think threw it in the ocean. So his current status is tiny little guy with just feet and hands and a head.
And he got like kicked into the sun or whatever, right?
Something
like
like
he got Team Rocket
he
kicked.
got Gum ricocheted or whatever it was called, and
Right.
just went into the horizon.
He's literally Dio right now. He's literally what.
Yeah.
Buggy was fun. I thought he was a fun villain. I liked his characters. I really didn't think I'd like his design because the first time I've ever seen Buggy was a screenshot of his live action appearance. And I don't think I was ready to see that. I really like him, his design, his attitude's funny.
Was he played by Jared Leto?
That's kind of the vibe they went for, it looks like.
That's awesome. I haven't seen it.
The live action, I'll say, there was a trailer. Since we last recorded, there was a new, like, the last trailer that was out was a teaser trailer. There was a full trailer that was out. And it's a pretty good fucking trailer. Like, it looks
Are
good.
we allowed to watch it now, or do we
No.
still have to?
No.
If we weren't allowed to watch the teaser, that would be a lot.
Y'all can watch the teaser.
Oh, we can't? Okay.
Y'all certainly cannot watch this trailer.
Okay.
So it's starting to look like good.
Yeah, so I've had hope for a while, and at first it was like, I think it's going to be bad, but I've decided I'm going to like it. The more stuff that comes out about it, the more I'm like, this might genuinely be good. It looks like it's really goofy. Luffy's rubber stuff looks good. Not like good like real, but it looks cartoony, which is perfect.
Yeah.
It seems like they are making it very goofy and silly, and there's a lot of like wires involved, you can tell, in the stunts that they're doing with different characters and how they fight, and that is good because if they just floated around or tried to make like the way they move realistic, that would suck. Anyway, brief One Piece live action tangent. Keep talking about the actual One Piece.
I do think though. I think Buggy the Clown as a villain, like, was a little like. I think I had a lot of fun with him, but in terms of like taking him seriously as like a, like he very much felt like a villain of the week. It didn't really feel like there was a large connection to like Luffy or the rest of the Straw Hats, where it's just like,
Well,
he has the thing that we want, and that is why he's our villain.
I felt the
Whereas,
opposite.
like,
well, he knew Shanks, and when they added that element,
I guess that
liked
element was very interesting.
Even
Their little
before that, he
backstory.
got introduced. Also, how dare he draw him sitting that way? First of all, he had the Boba Fett comic strip pose or whatever. But so it definitely felt like he was like gonna be a. I don't know. Maybe it's just because of how like I just saw that trope that he was coming up later. I don't know why. I just felt like he was like gonna be more. Like, it wasn't just a one-off thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just got the vibe. I can't really explain why I
don't
felt
have-
that way.
I don't have any impression, like, from what I understand of One Piece, which is not a terrible much, but there is, I don't know of any main villains. So I know
Yeah,
of
me
big
neither.
bosses. I know of bosses.
I don't.
I don't know of any main villains. So to me, I'm like, well, I just go in assuming this is a villain of the week. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a villain of the month, maybe of the year. But I don't know. I saw him and I'm like, okay, this is an early arc. This so far the series is very much tongue in cheek. It's not taking itself too seriously yet.
Yeah.
And I'm down to clown.
It was just for me
Like
so
Buggy.
far. It's like I think for villain motivation wise and stuff, is it's just been, it's been very like all the other villains we've seen. I think have had like stronger like motive, like Captain Morgan being this just fucking egotistical maniac guy.
Yeah. Oh, I see what
really
you mean.
enjoyed, and then like even though we've only got a little bit of it, Kuro being this kind of like scheming bastard, has both of those are just a little bit more intriguing to me than I want the bunch of treasure, because that feels like, at least in my opinion, like it's like, okay, cool, that is like when you think of a pirate, that is the first character archetype that comes to mind, which makes sense that it's happening early in the series.
A clown.
You just don't know him like I do, Hayden.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I think also as well, there is the fact of like what he represents in the
I was about to say.
he's like destroying these people's homes.
Yeah.
He is the. It seems like he is kind of trying. They're trying to set up the idea of like, here is what people like Nami have grown to hate.
Yeah.
and
here's
also
a reputation.
here's
Yeah.
what the One Piece will not be. Is a bunch of gold and jewels, because that's what it's that's what it seems like. Buggy is who's this piece of shit. That's all he's after. He's like, I want the greatest. I want all the treasure. I want all this gold. And then, I doubt the One Piece, whatever this special thing is gonna be, is gonna be that. It's gonna be something probably deeper.
And going off that as well, it kind of introduces very early on, like going off that idea of like what treasure even is.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
I
The
got
town is his treasure.
Right. There was definitely some like, everyone's got a treasure, and you know what I mean? It's like that's the word that people, it's going to be a thing, Yeah, for sure.
With that, there was a tally added to the Clayton Shellman tier counter. Did anybody did it get anybody?
The what
Was it the dog?
The dog
The dog.
story.
It did get
dog
me.
story
It
is
did.
really sad.
Yes.
Hell
But-
yeah.
Yeah. It did
That
get me.
dog annoyed the shit out of me, but I did empathize with him. It was
It annoyed you.
I loved that dog.
the character design, really. I think was.
Oh,
the
there
dog?
was.
It felt like I
okay.
was. Yeah.
It, just looked,
Shut
it was
up.
just a dog.
First of all, shut up. Second of all,
No,
there was a character design in that arc that was way more upsetting
Oh
than,
no, for
than
sure.
that dog, and it was Boodle, who was supposed to look like that's like if a guy was like, I'm gonna make this character look just like Robert Downey Jr. and I'm gonna name him Bobbert Downey Jr. That was
I'm sorry,
stupid,
wait,
and I
who is-
hated that.
Is
was
Boodle the
Boodle.
lion tamer?
No,
No.
he's
Oh,
the
my bad.
mayor.
He's the
Oh, the
mayor.
mayor.
The mayor.
The mayor.
Sorry.
It was so funny how he was wearing the armor over
That
his
was-
T-shirt.
Yeah.
That was
I
bad.
loved the moment when Luffy just fucking head smashed him into a wall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Adriana said when we were reading that he looked like a Seinfeld character that he
does,
drawn
yeah.
into this story. He was one of those characters where I was like, all right, I guess I should care about your struggle. But for some reason, I don't. But I understand. I just don't relate. I don't relate. You are annoying me with your face.
It was just how the basic like. I love my town so much, I'm gonna sacrifice my life. Basically, all the reason that the townspeople were pissed at him was why we were like, oh, whatever, you know.
Yeah, but I liked
you're
the
being reckless.
Yeah, but I liked the mores that were brought up though by that about him. The town is his treasure. The people are his treasure.
Yeah,
that was good. He had he had a fun attitude.
Him, Luffy knocking him out like that was very funny. Also solidified in my mind his chaotic good character alignment for sure.
I think something I've noticed in these like past few chapters that we've read and everything is like I've kind of realized that the way Luffy exists as a character is very simple in the terms of what is the most direct solution to this issue?
Yes.
Because when there's the whole point in the Kuro reveal where Kuro is like on the beach and being like, I'm gonna do Operation Murder Young Child, and Luffy just stands up and is like, hey, don't do that.
Don't do that.
And it's just like,
don't murder her.
And Usopp's just like, what the? No, wait, whoa. It's so funny, and it's just like I think that is such an interesting way to write a character like that because it creates so much fun.
Yeah.
Because it is a pressure cooker for just the entire team going from being fine to the deepest shit they've ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the opposite of Death Note to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No. I do feel like One Piece is the antithesis of Death Note.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Along that line, kind of, what did y'all think? For me, it was very fun to watch the like beginnings of the crew working together, and especially the scene when Luffy's in the cage. Everything that happens with that, I really enjoy.
That was
Zoro
cool.
just picking up the cage and walking away is
That was
great.
so funny.
Yeah. Zoro is cool.
Yep.
He's
So
the-
far he's cool. He always just has funny little moments. I'm not. I actually, surprisingly, I think he is tied with Luffy as well. Okay, I think I like Nami more than both of them a little bit, or at least I'm more interested in Nami as a character. She has more intrigue kind of around her right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also like that they haven't given us like with Zoro, we pretty immediately got his backstory.
Yeah.
But in this one, Nami, we don't really know what was lost from her yet.
We
which I
know
guess
that
just-
pirates took something and that she wants to
Yes.
buy a certain village, she said.
I like that
Right.
Luffy, there's like one line that tickled me a lot where Luffy was just like, yeah, pirates probably killed someone you cared about. Not that I don't want to hear about it though. And then they moved on.
Luffy has a lot of great one-liners, just like
Uh-huh.
where he's just like, "Shut up," and then, boom. Is there?
There's a person walking in the
Hufsepi,
door.
Oh.
I assume. There he is.
Hello.
Whoa.
Look at my man's. He looking like
One thing that
looking like a tall glass of water.
Earlier, Oda does this in the early chapters, where Luffy right now Luffy's always a bit of a dum-dum, but Luffy's way stupider in a more noticeable way, where it's like people will be explaining stuff, and Luffy is kind of used as like a plot device to be like, wait, I don't get it, and then they have to explain it again to like make sure
Right.
the audience gets it.
Yeah.
And I don't love that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's lately?
It seems inconsistent. What's up?
In the
You said that's
beginning.
lately, or that's in the beginning?
In the beginning.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I think Hayden has a special message for us.
Okay.
I like the part where he's talking to the kid that wants to be in the Navy, and he's like, "Wow, you really are pathetic, aren't you?"
Yeah.
And he just starts crying.
Yeah.
Are you reading it too?
I had the first volume in elementary school
Oh.
and never got any others, so I've just read it. I've read the first 3 chapters many times,
Yeah.
and that is it.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Hayden Hosepian, everybody.
Hayden.
Hey, no Seppian. He's leaving the building.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna bring something up. I'm trying to remember which thing I was gonna bring up.
We were
Oh.
talking about Nami, I think.
Yeah. Well, actually, I want
Oh, no, about Luffy being dumb.
about Luffy and his abilities. For
Uh-huh.
the first time, Luffy actually he was kept on his toes when he fought Buggy. This was the first fight where I was like, oh, I'm actually really interested in what's in this fight. Interesting dynamic of Chop Chop versus Gum Gum. That sounded really funny coming out of my mouth just now. But I'm like, okay, so this is a glimpse of what I can look forward to with other devil fruit enabled beings.
I think too, watching Luffy in fights is fun for me because Luffy obviously he's very dumb, but what I enjoy about him is watching him be competent. And so, like, the first time, for example, when he, like, tries to hit Buggy and he does, like, the chop escape and pops his head up. And so then Luffy just aims for his stomach. Really satisfying, and it's fun to watch.
And he kicks him in the balls.
Yeah, it's like a kick in the balls moment where he's just looking at
you just see him look
bottom half. And he's just like, okay,
like,
cool.
I know what he's thinking.
Oda has such, like, a great comedic, like, presence. Because it's, like, that one panel, like, you didn't need anything else because when Buggy like went ow, you knew exactly what had happened. I think it's very interesting. Going back to like seeing Luffy be confident, it seems like Luffy is very much like a thing of like he'll only fall for something once. Like once you use a trick on him, he immediately figures out how to stop it. You know, he's not falling for the Gum stuff over and over again. They're having to constantly change their tactics, which I think is very fun.
Yep.
Shout for shout. There's a guy here that okay, before we get to that, we meet. Before we get to that, actually, just a little note. I loved that they have two ships and they just sail them next to each other.
That is
they're
so
cute.
So cute.
That is cute.
Love it. I know that's
especially because Nami takes the big ship.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so it has all the
herself.
rations.
Yeah.
And she's just like, okay, Audron, you did point out a dynamic you were worried about persisting, and I do hold that. Like I do agree with that.
I hope it's going to be a Always Sunny in Philadelphia scenario where the first season, for anyone who hasn't seen it, the one female character, Dee, was like kind of the voice of reason and everyone else was like fucking insane and feral all the time, which is kind of what I'm getting right now. You know what I mean? Like it's not like terrible, but like it just puts, you know, the only like feminine presence at risk of being the nag. Which, I just hope that changes or it gets like dispelled a little bit more. It's not intolerable right now, but it's just a little, you know, in the back of my head.
Yeah, I think just in the future, Nami is and when she gets development, she's very different. Like she's never gonna be like kind of, you know, especially Luffy and Zoro as the only comparison. They're both kind of like slobs and meatheads.
Right.
And a lot of the people that join the crew are nothing like that.
That is what, I didn't want to like, you know, make that judgment before meeting everyone else and seeing what the final dynamic is going to be like. Yeah.
Nami is definitely amongst the smartest of the crew, but at the same time, she definitely has, the same way that Dee kind of gets that development, she has a lot of moments where the other people in the crew are also going to have to be like, hey, rein it in.
I love that. Okay, yeah. That's, sorry, this is not an Always Sunny podcast, but I fucking love that Dee goes feral.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes.
It is now. This is now Straw Hat Crusaders in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It's always Stardust in Philadelphia.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, just, I can already tell. So one of my favorite things to do when I get into something is draw fan art, but use Always Sunny screen caps as the references for the drawings, and it's really fun.
They did some
to
amazing
do.
ones for JoJo.
It's really
it's like
fun.
insane.
Hell yeah.
Anyway.
Oh wow, that is so. Oh, and it'll be way easier to draw too, because One Piece characters are so much.
Yeah.
If that happens.
Yeah.
No pressure. He leaves the treasure for the town. He leaves half the treasure there.
Yeah.
Yep. Without Nami's permission.
Yeah.
The person who
This is
kind of
correct.
got it.
Yeah.
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 I called it. I was like,
You did.
they're splitting it up. I wonder why.
Yeah, this feels like, not to compare it to Avatar Last Airbender again,
For the billionth
but
time.
I'm going to do that.
This
feels like if you started the journey and Aang meets Zuko first, and then he meets Katara. And then we get to a little new Blorbo over here named Usopp, and I'm like, this guy has such Sokka energy. Like he,
Ah.
but like mischievous Sokka.
Usopp one of your favorites, or am I remembering that incorrectly?
I quite like Usopp. The first Straw Hats we meet, the first 5 are probably usually going to be around my top 5 Straw Hats.
Gotcha.
I didn't know that there were that many more besides the
There's
5.
so many. There's like
Really?
8 or 9, right?
I think right now we're at 22. Or that's a lie. There's not 22. But
There's a lot more.
Usopp, I like a lot. I think there are moments when he's... I'm just thinking right now, I'm so excited to get further. I'm so excited. And
Yeah.
next episode is going to be a bit of a bummer, but then it's going to be bangers for so long.
Well, next episode also will be part 2 of JoJo beginning of
Yeah.
that, so maybe that'll.
Well,
have
that'll
some
be
JoJo juice.
that'll be an improvement for us
Yeah,
on our side.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
Except,
Ebb and flow.
oh my God, actually, it depends on how many episodes we watch because we'll get to that in a minute. But
But
yeah,
I want to hear y'all's thoughts on Usopp. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on. I guess we've talked a little bit about Nami, but not a whole lot. We met 2 new characters that are going to be maybe sticking around a little bit. What are y'all thinking?
Yeah.
what, Nami as well?
Nami and Usopp, yeah.
Well, we did technically meet Nami in Volume 1, but
Yeah,
this is
it
No,
was
but
very
this
brief.
is where we got to know
very
her.
brief. Yeah, I'm so happy with Nami.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying her as someone. Like, I think it's been very easy to be like they've established her as like someone who is thinking things through a little bit more and being like the whole thing of being like, cool, while y'all distracting them, I'm gonna go get that treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a nice thing to start bringing up, especially as we get into more and more Straw Hats, having ones that have different ways of approaching conflict, I think is going to be super nice. But also, she proved herself as a bit of a competent fighter when she she had the fucking leg staff, which was a great little moment that she whacked a guy over the head with.
That was cool. Yeah. She is fucking adorable. I want to put her in a little goldfish bag and shake her around. She's so cute. I love when she sticks her tongue out.
Yeah.
It's great. And yeah, everything you guys said, but plus what I just said.
I do think it's both fun but also a bit cliche whenever she's like you constantly see her inner monologue trying to decide whether she wants to be allied with these pirates, with Zoro and Luffy. And you constantly be like, man, Luffy, this guy sucks. Oh, but he just did that nice thing. Oh, but he's such a bastard.
It wasn't too easy, though. That's what I liked. I was like,
Yeah.
They didn't win her over too easily. Like, she definitely wasn't just immediately convinced. It was like, it was earned, I felt like.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
Very much
I also
like that.
think she's still kind of there more out of convenience than
Conditionally,
anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Which she made that very clear, which I like. I like that it's like teasing like, oh, one day they're really all going to love each other.
Like,
Maybe.
the only thing that changed was like...
Maybe.
Yeah. She was convinced to like before she was like, never in a billion years. But now she's like, maybe in a billion years.
Because people see Luffy and they see how... That's what... Because I really like... I think the big thing that like started to win her over was not that Luffy like saved the day with the tiger eye, but specifically that he was willing to fight a tiger just to get that box of food for the dog. That was the cry moment for me. Specifically the fact Luffy and his interaction with the dog, not just that it burned down. Luffy's a nice guy.
Yeah. Before we get to Usopp,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, were you about to say something?
I was going to talk about Usopp.
Before we do that,
Usopp check.
Luffy inflation. Unacceptable.
Very acceptable.
Get used to it, pal.
Oh, no.
No, I know that his. From what I
Wait, is he
understand,
going to use that to float instead of sink? That's what I would do if I was
seemingly
him.
there's like a magic to it.
yeah, you can.
Because Buggy got in the water and he couldn't move.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think he was splashing around, wasn't he? It's not like he was like paralyzed.
I don't know. I do know.
But also, if he's falling and he does that, and then he's a balloon, and then he's frozen that way. I don't know. Whatever. Just
I would say so. I don't think there's a spoiler thing because there's no
Yeah.
reveals about it or anything. The way that devil fruits work with the water is it partially deactivates your abilities in general. and 2, you just sink. Like no matter what the situation is,
okay.
you sink.
Like Mario.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Because it's like the fruit that's cursed by the ocean demons or something,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Which is awesome lore. Love that. We learned about the Grand Line. We actually saw the map of the world.
That was cool.
that was
Awesome.
introduced?
That was
Yes.
introduced.
So we've
I
got the
forgot.
whole thing. You got the red line,
Very
and then the
cool.
grand line.
The
goes
red
through
line,
it.
Yes.
a continent that spans the entire circumference of the world,
Really cool.
and then the Grand Line. Do we know what the Grand Line is yet?
It
cuts
is the
through it.
parallel
The
line or
red
the
city?
And it's
perpendicular
super-
line.
No.
Super dangerous.
The city.
There is it's there's one part of the red line
Yeah.
that the ocean passes through. There's a city there, and the Grand Line is the line that cycles like the
Perpendicular, right?
Yeah, perpendicular to the red line, and it's the straight line that would go that intersects through that town and loops around the world.
Yeah, it's like the equator.
Yeah,
Do
and if
we-
you go through the whole thing, apparently you come back as like a dead zombie guy.
Uh-huh.
Not
Well,
literally, but
that is seemingly because that's where they're headed, right, to find the great treasure. Mm-hmm. If you start on one bit of a line and you're going through, that's around the whole world.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But like,
Yeah.
where did they start? That's what I'm wondering. Did they start? Are there a million islands in those vast two oceans?
Well,
So-
we don't know yet because they just got the map.
Well, they keep going to islands, so I'm like, where are they from?
So the red line is. I'm gonna say One Piece general world knowledge. I'm gonna offer freely unless it's a big reveal. The red line is the only continent in the world of One Piece.
Yeah.
The entire world is kind of like archipelagical, like it's all islands. And so they're of course separated into the 4 kind of hemispheres: the east, west, north, and south blue, as they call them, the big oceans. And currently we are in the east blue. That is where our people are from. Yeah.
So the east.
so then you said north. So the cardinal directions, there's the 4 blues. Which are the 2 that are connected? So is it like east and south are connected and west and north are connected as oceans? Or they?
Is east to the right of the red line? Does it have like half of the red line in it?
I believe east is to the right of the red
Okay.
line.
Okay, cool. So now I have it in my head now. Okay.
And I guess that kind of depends on which way you're rotating the globe.
Oh, yeah,
'cause
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I guess
like-
all of them would be
So-
partially to the right of the red line at one point or another.
Is it like the world is separate? So like the red line, the continent.
Uh-huh.
Why don't we just wait for them to give us another map?
No, let me ask this. Makes this okay? So the red line and the Grand Line make an X essentially
Yes.
that separates the oceans into north, south, east, and west.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
makes
Uh-huh.
sense. Question: how much in my just so I got it my mind?
Uh-huh.
How much money is a berry worth? Like, if there was an equivalent of like 1 berry, is there any sort of like conversion? Because when fictional currencies come up and they're like 100 million berries, I'm like, I don't know how much money that is, man.
It is I want to say like a gallon of milk would probably be like 50 berries.
Okay.
It's I think similar to like yen.
Yeah.
Right.
So like divide it by 10, and that's probably about
$1.
$1.
$1 worth of a bear.
Around, yeah.
It has the power of $1.
They said
Also-
10 million. They mentioned that's 10 million berries, so it could be like 1 million berries.
$1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah. Also, did Roger D. Pirate?
Roger D.
Gold-
Pirate.
Goldie
Roger.
My favorite character,
Gold Roger.
Roger D. Pirate.
Did Gold D. Roger die before Luffy
Gold
was
Roger.
Gold? Did Gold Roger die before Luffy was born?
No.
Because Buggy said the great age of piracy started 20 years ago, and I thought that Gold Roger's death instigated that.
I don't believe so.
Because Gold Roger wasn't the instigator of the great age of piracy; it was his death that instigated it, right?
So I believe we are currently in the New Age.
The New
The
Age.
Great Age is a time, and I could be talking out of my ass here, but this is just me putting together context clues. I believe that the Great Age is probably referring to the period of time when Gold Roger, as well as other large historical figures whom we will meet later, were kind of the rulers of the pirate world.
Okay.
I kind of
Okay.
saw it as you're talking about when Kobe was like, it's the golden age of piracy.
Yeah, well,
that,
Buggy
like,
specifically
mentioning-
said.
Buggy's.
Buggy made mention of being like, the great age of piracy has been going on for 20 years.
No, it
Right.
was.
and I thought that the Gold Roger instigated
Yeah.
that. And
I
so
I just took that as like his success was a product of piracy being so prevalent.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't like it could be either one.
I
guess.
just didn't know if Luffy was alive when Gold Roger died. or
No,
not.
I think he wouldn't be because he's not 20, and it started 20 years ago.
But that's if
Yeah.
it aligns. That's if he was the cause of the great age of piracy, or if he was just part of it. That's what we don't know.
Okay.
I think I honestly don't know. I don't know the answer for sure.
It doesn't matter. It's just a theory.
Luffy didn't like see it happen, but obviously
He was there the whole time.
not that we know of. But yeah, I don't know. But Usopp,
Usopp,
That's right.
I
like
love Usopp.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I like his 3 little kids
Uh-huh.
that are running around with him. I like him being like the little reveal of him being like, oh, I'm just gonna go tell stories to this person to make him happy. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
That's all. Then I'm full team Usopp.
Yeah.
He's just a silly guy.
I normally, I think, don't like characters like him a lot, but for some reason, I do really like him.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I can't tell you why. I don't know. Feeling all these things about characters, and I don't even know why. It's just like subconscious, subliminal messaging or something.
yeah, Oda is really good at making characters likable.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Araki actually is too, just not yet.
Uh-huh.
You mean? I thought you meant like he's still got it.
No,
figured
no.
out.
Once you get to part, actually, honestly, part 2 is where he starts really making characters. Like,
Hell yeah.
but it gets better. Anyway,
I think he kind of reminds me of Mista a little bit.
you did say that.
I
He's
did
like
mention
Mista.
that, and you love Mista, so
I
maybe
love
that's
Everyone
so-
loves
Mista.
Mista.
Yeah.
You will love
Mista's
Mista.
the best
Just a little bit,
character
just-
in
yeah,
JoJo's
just a
Bizarre
little
Oh my
Adventure.
God.
Mista Mickey Mouse.
That's so real. So real.
Actually, his name is Guido Mista. Yep, I can say it. Y'all can't. Anyway, I'm not Italian, folks. I'm
no,
not.
I just gave him the G card.
Yeah, Adriana is Italian, and they gave me the Guido card.
Revoked. Anyway,
Never
moving
mind.
on.
Never mind. Cut that out of the. Okay.
Nope.
I like Usopp too.
Uh-huh.
I do think he's gonna grow on me more though. But once I found out he was like this, he was just telling that girl, Kara,
Yeah.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything. I'm not the boss. Go continue.
Yes, sir. Once I found out that yeah, like you, Hayden, if he's being this like sweet human guy to and telling your stories. And I liked the classist elements that were brought up with Kuro and him. And Kuro looks like me, I found out. He kind of looks like me if I put my hair back and have my glasses
Remind
on.
me to show you guys a video I took of us reading it
Yeah.
later. It's
So I was like,
anyway.
this guy's kind of sexy. And then
True.
bam, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the king of the long game, dude. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
geez.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have the hypnotist guy too.
Yeah.
Which
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
I knew about
He's
that.
based off of Michael Jackson.
Yes.
I had no idea.
No doubt.
Like they're 1-to-1.
were you gonna
That was
say?
awesome. Like,
I-
he's walking backwards over here.
I did not remember those, but I feel like usually I'm like, yeah, this is what happens here. The panels of Django, I think partially because the arcs that I don't like, I don't reread really. And so the art of Django walking backwards and getting closer and closer is... I was taken aback by that. I really enjoyed it.
Because technically, that is the first ever One Piece panels I'd ever seen. Because before we started this, we opened a pack of the One Piece trading card game, and some of the like special, like the non-character cards have like panels.
Oh.
And the one I pulled from my pack was like the 1-2 Django moment, and that was my first like
That's
panel I've
so
ever
funny.
seen. And I saw him come back up, and I was like, I know that guy.
Yeah?
Yeah. Also, treasure chest man, treasure chest guy.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
That's I forgot about
yeah,
him.
I remembered about him in when I was talking about the Grand Line, and I purposely didn't bring him up.
No, that's. I think I really, really liked that little arc. I really liked
That was
when
crazy.
Luffy was just like, I don't want to throw him down. 'Cause it was
I
just like,
do
Yeah.
too, and I'm glad it ended right there, and he left
Yes.
the island
Yeah.
because that guy could
I
have gone
really
old.
like the fact that they do like a fake. Like Luffy's like, look, there's only one thing that'll do. You have to join my crew. And then the guy's like, you want me to join your crew? And there's like a second, like before you turn the page, where you're like, oh no, we're gonna have
Dear
this
God.
fucking guy.
Also, Usopp is the first person that is having to like convince Luffy to
Yeah.
let him
my
join
God,
the crew
you're-
because then
you're
you're
right.
like, I'll be your
Yeah.
captain, and everyone's like, no, no, and I fucking love that so much. It's a
Yeah,
great
that
moment.
Luffy so far has been like, you're gonna be in my crew, and they're like, I don't know. And then Usopp is literally like, I'll join your pirate crew, and he's like, no, he will not.
Hell yeah.
I'll get back to you.
So there's a sheep butler.
Yeah.
And we noticed the sheep butler next.
Uh-huh.
That's one of Kuro's staff, and we were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "Wait, Araki does that too sometimes, where people are just like
Or just
weird looking,
random creatures for no reason.
yeah, unless that's supposed to literally not be a human being. If there are hybrid chimera people like that,
So there are theoretically answers that I could give to this about like, well, he could be this or he could be this.
But there's no official.
I think he's just a guy that wears a sheep hat for some
Right.
reason.
Well,
And
the
I don't know
lion
why.
tamer, that
He
wasn't
had
a
ears.
costume. That was
Yeah.
just his hair.
That was his
That was
hair.
his
oh my, we
hair.
forgot to talk
But
about
this
the
guy
lion
had
tamer.
horns, right?
Yeah.
He had horns, and also
Could be his
Yes.
ears.
then Kura's
And
revealed
a
to be
snout or something.
one. He has a gang of wolf pirates. So it's like Adriana pointed out, a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what he was
Holy
to
shit.
to Kaya.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Except they're cats, so they're like drawn.
I
like,
wouldn't have made that connection if they didn't say
Yeah.
something about wolves because I thought they looked like cats too.
Yeah,
but
I think that's 100% appropriate because Usopp is like so obviously like kind of beating you over the head with it. The boy who cried wolf.
I was literally gonna. Okay,
Oh my
I
God, we were
just-
talking about.
I just like before you said that I was like, wait, and it's also literally.
Also,
the boy
Yeah.
who literally cried wolf.
Because the first thing we see of him is him running in and being like, there's pirates, and then he's like, hee hee hee. and then he has to be like,
Psych.
wait guys, there's pirates.
There's really pirates. Oh my
And they're
God.
like, get the
he's
fuck out of here.
crying and
Yeah.
I-
screaming for
Yeah.
help.
Also,
and
his-
everyone's like,
His long game plan is they just scrapped it immediately because they gave up the game.
It
Usopp-
is so, the Kuro's plan, and we will get into this more next week. There's some shit I'm holding back. But him being like, yes, I want this treasure, and I'm a very strong pirate, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to live in this girl's house
Yeah.
as a butler and earn her trust for like 5 years or
3
something.
years.
Like 3
For
years.
3 years.
A lot.
After faking my own death, and then my pirate crew is going to come here and kill this lady in this defenseless village with no militia or anything. And so, because I'll be on the will, I'll get the money. And it's like, hey, bro, if you're willing to kill a child, bring your pirate crew and murder them and take their shit. What are you doing?
He can't
No.
spend the money.
All the
He
money
can't
is-
spend the money
You
because it's illegal money.
Yeah, you clearly know nothing about intergenerational wealth. Okay, their money is tied up in assets. Okay, it's not liquid.
Sure,
they
sure.
can't just steal it. They need the deeds.
That-
They
it,
need.
it does seem like more of a real world
Yeah.
type of plan for
Yeah.
sure. Like not a crazy pirate. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
it doesn't match up with the rest of the logic.
Uh-huh.
So I see what
never-
you mean.
I had never seen a long game pirate before, and I thought that was
Right.
interesting.
Yeah.
But now it's scrapped, so that's
Uh-huh.
fine.
I think Usopp, when he joins the crew, will just be doing this to everyone all the time.
Adriana,
Wait,
by the way,
There's no visual element to this.
did the little
Whatever
okay
you thought I
symbol.
just did, that's what I did.
The thing where if you hold it under your legs, you get to punch
They
somebody.
got you.
if they look
Gotcha.
at it,
That's a very Usopp thing for sure.
Yeah.
he's supposed to be the cook, right?
Usopp?
Yeah, he becomes the cook.
I don't know.
Did you not listen to Clayton's performance of the pirate rap? Who was cooking?
Oh, was Sanji cooking?
Yes.
Sanji's the
You
cook, right?
fool.
Oh.
Sanji's cooking. Remember, Dr. In. I censored a name in case y'all.
I was like, there's no way he forgot whatever he just.
No, I forgot who was Doctor.
What is Zoro's job is just swords guy?
His name's Zoro. He's a samurai and an lady. So the pirate rap, Nami's a cat burglar, but she just gets the word lady spelled out. They just say and an lady. Nami's not shy. That's not her character. That's not who she is.
Oh my
Even very early
God.
on, that's not who she is. Usopp's doing his marksman thing. Sanji's cooking. Doctor.
Sanji's cooking.
I don't know why
Let
that
him
part
cook.
of the song stood out to me a lot. I just
Because Sanji makes 5, right? Because
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Assuming he's the next person.
Assuming.
I am.
I am afraid of. I'm afraid.
You're welcome to.
I know that I'm probably gonna end up loving the little reindeer chopper guy. I'm very afraid of his introduction. I feel like it's gonna be so annoying, and I'm gonna have to grow into it.
Oh, is this a character that I don't?
Yeah, we haven't met
Oh,
him
okay,
yet.
okay. I thought someone we already met.
He's a
Yeah.
little.
in the box.
Hey,
He's in
hey,
the box.
Josh, you want to put that in your back pocket for right now, bud?
Yeah, come on, come on.
No.
We'll get there, pal.
Okay.
There's this one guy I'm not looking forward to, just based on his character design. He has blue hair and he looks annoying. He has blue, like he looks like like an ice cream shark popsicle.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Is he wearing a funky shirt?
I don't know. I can't
Okay.
remember.
There's
I
like-
think he has
yeah.
a weird nose.
There's-
Yeah.
Is he kind of strong a little bit,
Yes.
looks like?
Yes.
Yeah, you know the guy.
There's a guy shaped like a drumstick. He wears all black and white, and he has like Gene Simmons hair. And
You're saying so many things I can't picture in my head.
What?
he's like one of the, I think he becomes part of the main crew. He wears glasses, and he's really big and strong.
Okay.
Strong.
You're saying some
so-
things where I'm like, okay, and then you're taking them back. You're taking them back.
And I am afraid to meet these characters. I don't like
Do
the
we-
character.
Do we
shape.
have anything else to add for before we just start
Oh.
vague
Yeah, I was-
describing
Real quick, yeah, because
characters?
that's we're gonna get there. Okay, we're gonna get there. eventually.
Yeah.
Real quick, another thing that we found out, we did find out what was going on with Usopp's daddy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yasopp. or
Yeah.
whatever.
Kasop.
That's
Kasop?
cool.
Yasop.
Yeah. Oh, Yasop. Yeah.
Yasopp.
Yes.
He's on Shanks's crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of people
cool.
have connections to Shanks.
Yeah.
A lot of people did. This
Yeah.
guy's
Buster?
this guy's a prolific man. He's been around. He's a slut.
Lords.
Shanks
I'm
is
happy
a-
that
Shanks is a whore.
Intertwining their paths.
Yeah. He's been
Yes.
all over.
his hat got repaired. That was cool.
Yes.
And then
he unrepaired.
he unrepaired it immediately.
Awesome.
No, I'm excited for whenever we get to see Shanks again because it's
Yeah.
seemingly
Me too.
like Shanks is like, because it's seemingly like they're making up these like Shanks is like a reflection of Luffy's crew because you got Shanks who is like the Luffy type, right? You got Yasopp who is Usopp but better, right? And then there was like the swordsman in the first arc, like his first mate. No,
No swordsman.
no, the guy
he was
who
a
was the
gunman.
guy with the.
He's a marksman.
I think
With a
they-
gun.
He hit somebody in the head with a gun.
Okay, that guy is kind of like
Well,
Zoro.
that kind of looks like a sword. I
yeah,
can see.
yeah, he kind of like
It was a long gun.
uh-huh. But he hit a guy real hard, and that seems
Yep.
like a Zoro thing to do. All I'm saying is, this seems like
There's some parallelism,
There's some
yeah.
parallels
Yeah,
between
yeah, yeah.
their crews.
For sure.
Except Shanks is smart.
And Luffy is smarter.
Yeah. Yeah. They should do an IQ test. I hope there's.
I think-
Let us know when the IQ test episode's coming.
I don't know
Sure.
if anyone's made this connection before, but Luffy and Shanks actually wear the same hat. So that's another way that they're kind of like
Yeah, that's probably a way.
parallels.
It's probably
you
a way
know?
that they.
Like,
What the hell are you even saying? You sound insane right now.
They do both have
you'll
scars
see,
on their
you'll
eye.
see. Oh yeah, true.
Oh. All right.
Interesting.
Okay, white boy.
So,
much to think about.
should we get to preparation for next week?
Oh, yeah.
Expectations and
Yeah.
homework and
Yes,
stuff?
yes.
Why don't we start with One Piece?
Sure.
Yeah.
Or this.
We'll be
So-
reading 2 more volumes.
2 more volumes?
Yeah,
Volume
homework.
5.
Same as usual. And I've decided moments in the future, I'm not going to do this too often, but there are going to be times where I say I either add to the homework or I stop it early.
Yeah.
just because there's some things that we need to check in as soon as they happen. That needs to be the freshest thing.
Agree. I think we should do the same with JoJo.
But next week on One Piece, just read 2 volumes.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to look it up right now, but I think there's a chance that you should... Yeah, I mean, okay. There's a thing... I'm going to see where the 6th episode ends. I might have you watch 5 episodes.
Okay.
Depending on the arc, because I know that there's a short opening arc that's just the first 2 episodes, and then there is an arc that is a bit challenging, but it's more fun than probably any of part 1. So I'll tell you at least that much.
Cool.
Shit and piss. Hold up.
You're good. I'll say as well, for as far as expectations for One Piece next week, this is an arc, I've already told y'all this, not my favorite. A lot of people enjoy it. A lot of times when I tell people that, they're reading through it. Like Alex, for example, who's a big One Piece fan. I told him ahead of time, I was like, this one I don't like very much. And he enjoyed it a lot. So that's fun. And then also...
This arc we're going into?
The arc we're going into. The Syrup Village arc here.
Okay.
And then also, within these chapters, we are going to be hitting onto an arc, the beginnings of an arc that I love a whole lot. And I think there will be a lot of fun stuff there.
What's it called?
I don't know.
Because Alex has specifically told me one arc that he was like, get to this arc and you're gonna be going crazy.
Oh, tell me what it is.
Hold up. I know it's one he said a lot. I think it's 1 second. Somebody vamp. Somebody
Sure thing.
vamp. Somebody.
Josh, what did you
So
find?
I found that you should watch the first 6 episodes of JoJo, but I don't.
Will do.
I don't want to set your expectations yet because I think we're still talking about One Piece.
Okay.
Wait, you're saying there's an arc that Alex that's coming up soon?
Yeah, he said stick. He when I texted him that I was starting One Piece, he said stick with it till Arlong Park, and you'll be in for the long haul.
How far is that?
So there is Syrup Village. You something. Then there's again, it's fun. I'm downplaying it a lot. I like Syrup Village.
You hate
Up next
You hate the
is a different
series.
arc, which I think is fantastic, and it will be the best thing that has come yet.
Oh,
And then
Cool.
will be Arlong Park, which
Cool.
is because I don't want to get y'all's hopes up and have y'all
Yeah,
like expecting
overhype it.
some mind blowing thing, but that is for most people who started One Piece and fell in love with it. Arlong Park is where you get like hooked. It is where you get got.
and we're close.
We're quite close.
We have.
I don't love this arc, and then from this point on, we're cruising.
Really.
Yeah.
And there's no stinkers, or
I mean,
there's only a
like,
few.
In the history of One Piece, there were like 3 that I would consider stinkers.
I can't wait to get to the point in JoJo where I'm like, you're good. You're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little. It's gonna be a minute,
Uh huh.
but there's a certain episode. Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. But yeah, so for part 2, and actually, I want to briefly touch on just your. Now that you finished part 1, you finished the whole story of JoJo. Your review, your summation, your impression of it.
Bizarre. Honestly, it was fun. I liked. By the time it got to the end, I feel like that made me appreciate the rest of it more.
Okay, cool.
Slay.
Do we want to rate arcs and shit? Do we want to really
Now
do that?
or just in general?
I feel like once we only have 2 arcs to talk about right now.
Well, I meant like, for him, for JoJo's, it's more.
For me, this is a solid. I don't want to be too harsh on it.
No, go
I
ahead.
think in the future I will maybe appreciate it more. I think part 1 for me is like a 5 out of 10, and it has me excited for the future of JoJo's.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, do we want to like do little talks about our? Sorry, you want to give little talks about our ratings of the first couple arcs? Just give little number ratings now that we've got them
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One Piece.
of One Piece.
think
So
so.
I think for me, I think Romance Dawn like 8.5 out of 10. And
Should we say? Should we just go through?
yeah, Romance Dawn. Let's do Romance Dawn.
Romance 10, I'd say is a 6.5, maybe 7. Really solid.
Yeah.
Really solid start.
I actually can't count, so I will not be giving my rating.
Fair enough.
Of
That's fair.
these
Fair enough.
arcs, but I will get back to you if that changes.
Okay.
Wait, what happens
yeah.
at the end of Romance Dawn again?
Uh,
We meet
End of
Noah.
Romance Dawn, they sail away.
Okay. Yeah. And then after that we have
Orange Town.
Orange Town.
Which is what we just
Orange Town.
finished. Orange Town for me, 7 out of 10.
I would say about a 7 as well. I'd say about a 7.
Nothing on this end, guys. Sorry.
But you liked it, right?
Oh yeah. I
Yay.
just numbers are not how I
Okay.
Yeah,
Express-
that's super fair.
express how I like.
I
things, so.
yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm liking it so far. I like. I don't know. I'm not really separating the arcs right now. It's still one big story to me.
Okay. Maybe that's how
That's
for One
fair,
Piece,
especially-
maybe how we should do it.
The One Piece is more than arcs. I would say it's easier to split things up into these sagas,
Yeah.
and all of this is still part of the same saga, the East Blue Saga.
Cool.
Yeah.
That we're going to be in for the next couple arcs still.
Cool. All right.
Okay. Well,
I think we're
homework for JoJo officially. Watch the next 6 episodes. Watch 6 episodes of part 2. It is technically also part of season 1, so you're continuing season 1.
Yes.
This will be, if we continue on this trajectory, we'll technically be done with part 2 in 3 episodes from now, like in 3 sessions.
Cool. I would love that.
But yeah, no. If you if you watch 6 episodes, you will get through 3 arcs or three little stories, and it should be good. I think part 2 is a lot more fun. However, part 2's, while its beginning is very good for me, I think that its roughest arcs are in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're about to
and we're gonna read 2 chapters. Two chapters.
2 chapters.
Two
2
chapters.
whole
2
volumes.
2 volumes.
Cool.
I'm excited to start talking about Joseph Joestar.
Oh,
Very
yeah?
excited to start talking about him.
Yippee.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Now
Catch
we
you
all
on the
say the sign off together. We all say it
Yeah.
on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Guido
Goodbye.
Yay.
One Piece.
Wait, we should
Love
be
you,
like
good night.
sailing away.
Clayton, you
or-
didn't say anything.
I did.
Yeah.
We should be like sailing off. Sailing.
All right.
Goodbye.
Love you. Good night.
Love you. Good night.
Love you and good night.